tonight at 10.
A warning left by the Washington area sniper increases fear even more of what the killer might do next.
Then, a weight loss drug that worked wonders for the women of the NYPD goes way beyond simply shedding the pounds.
Plus, if you are not lucky enough to have a rich relative who will pay for your college education, check out a new service that claims it will find one for you.
And who says Halloween is just for little kids? All kinds of creatures are getting into the holiday spirit.
Tonight at 10 on Channel 4's Eyewitness News.
Hi, I'm Brad Nitz, new weather guy at Channel 4. Just taking a tour of some of my old hangouts. Hey, how you doing? Spent a lot of time here and here. I just love being outdoors. That's what makes this such a great place to live and such a great place to talk about the weather.
Brad Nitz Weather, only on Eyewitness News.
I've always been fascinated with the weather. Now it's my job. How great is that?
Pyramid tomorrow at 11 on the one and only Channel 4. In the heart of hurricane season, keep your Eye on the Storm Disaster Guide close at hand. Sponsored by these auto owners insurance agents.
To spank or not to spank?
No.
Do you think it's working?
Absolutely. That's the only way I get his attention.
My question is, what do you learn by being hit? If it works so well, why is he pushing you to the edge? They are playing you people like fiddles, man.
But he's only 3. I can't sit him down and reason with him.
Oh, but you can. Next, Dr. Phil. You come to the right place, Mom. Tomorrow at 3 on the one and only Channel 4.
It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are and who they're with? Live from WJXT Channel 4, this is the one and only Eyewitness News.
It is important that we do this without anyone else getting hurt.
Tonight, a new message from police to the person believed to be the sniper. Good evening, everyone. First at 10, communicating with a killer.
Our big story tonight, police again used the news media to send a message to the sniper. Hours earlier, police revealed the killer warned that children were not safe. New at 10, a new appeal from police. Let's go live now to Skip Lozier in Maryland.
Montgomery County Police Chief Charles Moose is clearly using the news media to help communicate with the sniper. He did so again tonight. Montgomery County Police Chief Charles Moose says he's received another communication from the sniper. And his response?
We have researched the option you stated and found that it is not possible electronically to comply in the manner that you requested. However, we remain open and ready to talk to you about the options you have mentioned. It is important that we do this without anyone else getting hurt. Call us at the same number you used before to obtain the 800 number that you have requested. If you would feel more comfortable, a private post office box or another secure method can be provided. You indicated that this is about more than violence. We are waiting to hear from you.
Earlier, 35-year-old Conrad Johnson, a bus driver, was cut down as he stood on the top step of his commuter bus early this morning.
This is a terrible loss of life today for...
It happened in the Aspen Hill area of Silver Spring, Maryland, not far from the neighborhoods in which the sniper shot 6 people earlier. Meantime, there is more and chilling information about the note found in the woods from which a Florida man was wounded Saturday night in Ashland, Virginia. Sources say the note alluded to a timetable and a threat of more killing, including school children.
It is in the form of a postscript. Your children are not safe anywhere at any time.
In addition to the threat, a demand for $10 million. We're live in Rockville, Maryland. I'm Skip Lozier. Back to you.
We're learning more tonight about the sniper's 12th victim, a man from Melbourne. 37-year-old Jeffrey Hopper was shot and badly wounded Saturday night at the Ponderosa Steakhouse in Ashland, Virginia. He and his wife were on their way back home to Florida when they decided to stop in Ashland to eat and to rest. For Hopper's neighbors in Melbourne, the news has been hard to take.
Cruel world we live in today. There's nobody safe anywhere.
Does it ever cross your mind that that could have been you?
Yep. Many times.
Jeffrey Hopper remains in critical but stable condition tonight. His doctors say he still has a long way to go and will need several more operations. Count on Channel 4 to bring you any updates on new developments in the investigation of the sniper attacks.
More testimony tomorrow in the murder trial of a teenager accused of killing an Orange Park man. Adam Hoover was 16 years old when prosecutors say he robbed, then shot 71-year-old James Edwards 2 years ago in Fernandina Beach. Police arrested Hoover and two friends 2 days later driving the victim's SUV. Police say Hoover's friends helped him hide Edwards' body in the woods. Both have pleaded guilty. One of them testified against Hoover today. The other will take the stand tomorrow. Class size, gun control, gay adoptions.
Tonight, the governor and the man who wants to take that job away from him debated their differences for the final time before the election that is now just 2 weeks away. Channel 4's Corey Sabin watched the debate and is joining us now live from our satellite center with some of the highlights. Corey?
Well, Tom, it's tough to address all the issues concerning Florida in just 1 hour, but both men did what they could to try and sway the remaining undecided voters. The third and final gubernatorial debate took center stage in Orlando. According to a recent Mason-Dixon poll, Governor Jeb Bush leads Democratic candidate Bill McBride 49% to 44%. 6% of the 628 people polled are still undecided. This debate was a chance for each candidate to make a last splash.
My first passion is education. My hope and dream is, in fact, it's a big dream, that every child, by the time they reach third grade, is reading at grade level.
McBride says he supports smaller class sizes and plans on increasing cigarette taxes by 50 cents a pack. He says he also plans to take more money from the general fund.
And you spend more of it on a priority basis for public schools, for human services, the things that have been neglected.
Mediator Tim Russert then gave McBride the chance to reply to a recent ad that the Bush team has been running.
McBride says he'll raise your taxes. Will it be higher sales taxes, yes or no?
No.
By keeping taxes low and by promoting the state with passion and conviction, I believe we can diversify our economy and create more jobs for more people.
Still undecided? Well, Election Day is in 2 weeks, and here's why both men feel they should get your vote.
There's been too much partisanship, too much bickering, not enough leadership. I promise the people of Florida that I will, in fact, try to make this state better for everybody, not just a few.
Over the next 4 years, I promise you that I will remain steadfast in the fight against violence and crime. We can do that by tougher sentences against sexual predators, against people who commit crimes against elders, and people who commit domestic violence.
Now, this was the last debate. Now it's up to the voters to make up their minds. Election Day is November 5th. We're live in the Satellite Center. I'm Corey Sabin.
Corey, the debate was pretty intense, but there was one light moment.
Well, Tom, as a matter of fact, there was a couple of light moments. One of them, they were asked what they liked about each other. Bill McBride said that he liked Governor Bush's mother. Governor Bush said that he liked the fact that Bill McBride served in the military. Back to you.
Thank you, Corey.
There's breaking news tonight downtown. Police say 2 people have been shot at the intersection of A. Philip Randolph Boulevard and Albert Street. The victims have been rushed to Shands Hospital. No word yet on their condition. Again, 2 people shot downtown tonight. We do have a crew on the way to the scene, and we'll bring you more details as soon as they become available. Also new at 10, sounding off about the future of AT&T broadband in Jacksonville. Tonight, the City Council got to hear what the public thinks about the cable company. City leaders will vote November 1st whether to pull the plug on the city's franchise agreement with AT&T broadband. For the first time, AT&T broadband employees showed up to show their support for the cable company. New at 10:30, we'll hear why they're pleading with the city to keep AT&T plugged in.
Tonight, an Eyewitness News investigation. As we first told you at 6 o'clock, the City Council has plans to build a gym at City Hall for city employees only, but you would pay for it. We have complete coverage. The new gym would cost $250,000. Tax money would pay for it, but only city workers would be allowed to use the gym. City leaders say it would pay for itself by making city employees healthier. Taxpayers we spoke with question if that's fair.
But it doesn't seem right that they're spending tax money and the public doesn't have access to it.
I think that they could feed some of these poor people walking around here before they'd spend it for a gym for employees.
I don't mind the city spending money on it, but I think that everyone should be able to utilize it.
City employees would pay $10 a month to go and work out. Council President Jerry Holland says he will look into the idea of allowing the public to have access to the gym.
Some fog tonight, and then rain is headed our way. Meteorologist Brad Nitz is joining us now with the first forecast. Brad?
And when you compare this evening's weather to yesterday evening, things much improved. But about 3 hours ago, we saw one thunderstorm, strong but small, over western Duval County near the Cecil Commerce Center. It has since moved to the south and rapidly dissipated. And at this late hour, just a few showers and thunderstorms to our south, and then more in central and south Florida as well. But things are dry now and for the rest of this evening. Partly cloudy skies above, fog setting up, and temperatures currently in the lower 70s, and we're headed down into the middle 60s along the beaches, and inland a morning low of 63 degrees with a little patchy fog to start the day. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies and some scattered showers. Details on that forecast, of course, a look ahead for the rest of the work week and this coming weekend in just a few minutes.
You could say the handwriting was on the goalpost. Sam is here with our first sport. Sam?
Tom, the saga of Hayden Epstein at least is over for now. Epstein was released by the Jaguars today. He made 5 of 9 field goals in all of his extra points, but he stopped kicking the ball in the end zone, and Tom Coughlin did seem to lose some confidence in him in that Baltimore game. Epstein, who kicked at Michigan, was a 7th-round pick, now released. The Jaguars worked out 2 kickers today, Tim Cedar and Richie Cunningham, both ex-Cowboy kickers, but have not signed anybody. The question now remains is that where are they going to go in this situation, because Tom Coughlin is well known to want a kicker who can kick the ball into the end zone and get some touchbacks. Nobody out there seems to be able to do that, and it's not likely that he'll take 2 roster spots as he did in previous years with Steve Lindsay and Mike Hollis. Meanwhile, the World Series is currently in the 4th inning, and the San Francisco Giants can't hold off this offensive juggernaut, I guess you could say, of the Anaheim Angels. The Angels currently lead the game 5-1. In the 5th inning, there's a pitching change being made by Dusty Baker. And it appears that Hal Sutton will be the next guy who runs the Ryder Cup. Sutton has accepted the job as captain, the 1983 PGA champion and the 2-time winner of the Players' Championship will take over the captaincy for 2004 when they will play at Oakland Hills, which is outside of Detroit. Mary?
Thanks, Sam. New at 10, the NYPD diet. It helped the women of the New York Police Department lose weight fast. But tonight, they say a new pill worked even more wonders for them.
Also tonight, try this on for size, a new desktop dressing room that helps you find the perfect fit right from your computer. But first, Brad's forecast.
A little bit of fog tonight and tomorrow morning, then burning off, but leaving us with clouds and showers. I'll tell you about your rain chances for tomorrow and for the next several days coming up in just a few minutes.
I'm Adam Landau. Coming up in just a few minutes, AT&T broadband employees come to the defense of their company as the city talks about pulling the plug on them. That story new tonight, live at 10:30.
And again, we're following breaking news downtown. 2 people shot and rushed to the hospital.
We have a crew on the scene, and we'll have more details for you just as soon as we learn them.
You're watching the one and only Eyewitness News at 10.
She swears by her story.
I curse.
Well, everybody cusses a lot.
Texas Justice.
Tomorrow at 9 a.m. on the one and only Channel 4.
Come on. Yeah, I'm still in the car. 10 minutes, an hour, I've got no idea. This is ridiculous.
Can't wait to get your new Jetta? And with the offers going on now, why would you?
Now, you will need to get additional receivers for these other TVs and that special splitter that we talked about. Oh, and don't forget those extra receiver programming fees and that monthly upcharge for your local channels.
I guess Timmy's braces are just gonna have to wait.
Satellite costs more than you think. No hidden charges, problem solved. Digital cable from AT&T Broadband.
Order today and receive $15 off any digital package for 3 months plus free installation.
March 20th, 2002. John Mica votes for a federal budget that will lead to almost $845 billion in budget deficits. Deficits funded by taking money from the Social Security Trust. Wayne Hogan says that's wrong.
I will fight every attempt to gamble with Social Security, and I'll fight to protect Social Security for our seniors so that they have the respect and the dignity that they are entitled to with that basic retirement.
From us, for us. Wayne Hogan for Congress.
The power of GMC.
Nothing from nothing.
Nothing beats the power of zero down payment. Zero payments till January 2003 and 0% financing on every new GMC.
And from nothing leaves nothing. You gotta have something.
Get any new GMC with zero down payment. Zero payments till January 2003 and 0% financing. Upgrade to professional grade. See the pros at your GMC dealers before it all ends October 31st. This week, everyone's talking about Pyramid.
What are you doing after the show?
Anything you like, honey.
Pyramid.
Tomorrow at 11 on the one and only Channel 4.
Live from WJXT, Tom Wills, Mary Bear, Rob Sweeting, meteorologist Brad Nitz, and Sam Kavaris with sports. This is the one and only Eyewitness News.
We have an update now on breaking news downtown at the intersection of Albert Street and A. Philip Randolph. We have these pictures just into our newsroom from the scene of a double shooting. 2 people have been rushed to the hospital. We're told one of them has been shot in the neck, the other in the leg. No word yet on their condition. Again, 2 people shot downtown. They've been rushed to Shands, Jacksonville. We have a crew on the scene, and we'll make sure to bring you more information as soon as we learn it.
Covering America tonight, an unbelievable wreck in Massachusetts when a tractor-trailer and 2 cars collide in an accident with a bizarre twist. Rob has details from the newsroom. Rob?
Well, Tom, it was a scary moment and a close call for the truck driver and 2 other drivers. The tanker skidded off the highway ramp in Worcester, Massachusetts. The scary part? It fell 25 feet onto 2 vehicles below. Police say the truck driver and the 2 people in the other vehicles were hurt, but their injuries are not life-threatening. The truck was carrying plastic pellets when it drove off the ramp. Not guilty pleas for the 6 men accused of being members of a terrorist cell in suburban Buffalo. Prosecutors say the men trained at an al-Qaeda camp in Afghanistan with Osama bin Laden. The men, Americans of Yemeni descent, were arrested shortly after the anniversary of the September 11th attack. A federal grand jury indicted them this week on 2 counts of providing material support to a terrorist organization. If convicted, they face up to 15 years in prison. Well, things are heating up for Martha Stewart. Securities and Exchange Commission lawyers have told Stewart they're ready to file civil securities fraud charges against her. Stewart is accused of selling shares of M-Clone Systems after getting inside information 1 day before negative news caused the company's stock to plunge. Stewart has denied doing anything wrong, and she has not been charged. The M-Clone case is also being investigated by the U.S. Attorney's Office.
In tonight's dollars and cents, some backtracking on Wall Street. The Dow Jones Industrials dropped 88 points today to close at 8,450. The NASDAQ dropped 17 points to close at 1,292. Well, they have done the math, and you are going to shell out more for a college education this year.
A new study from the nonprofit College Board says tuition and fees are way up. The average cost at a 4-year public school is now $4,000 a year. At private schools, the price is up to about $18,000 a year. With college getting more and more expensive, some students are taking a gamble, turning to investors to help them pay for higher education.
I'm maxed out on my loan, so I have to find an alternative way to pay for my school myself.
Brian Flynn is one stressed-out student. He's footing the bill for his entire education, but government loans only cover so much.
I just wish there was a more immediate way to pay my bills through a third party.
We'll see how that goes.
Enter Raza Khan. He created My Rich Uncle, a company that matches students with a network of investors who act sort of like wealthy relatives.
We set out to create a place where students, instead of taking out loans, could receive money.
Unlike a traditional loan, there is no principal or interest to worry about, but this college cash still comes at a cost. Students must agree to pay a fixed percentage of their income for 10 to 15 years after they graduate. That percentage varies depending on career goals, credit history, and how much cash is needed. Bottom line, the more you make, the more they take.
I do see a lot of redeeming qualities in it from the investor. I see a lot of redeeming qualities in it for the student.
Todd Battaglia is a financial advisor for hundreds of investors nationwide. He gives My Rich Uncle a high grade for profit potential.
I think the program will take off. And if you look at what's out there right now, this is coming around at the right time.
It's very exciting because it allows you to invest directly in human capital for the first time.
Todd Schwendeman put $10,000 into the investment pool and is hoping to see a 20 to 30% return on his money.
We should be able to get all our capital back plus additional capital that we can refinance into more students.
I certainly hope that their investors have thought through this.
Mukund Krishnaswamy runs a venture capital firm. He does not see investors getting much of a return here.
If I know that I'm going to graduate from school and become a doctor, an investment banker, Bill Gates, I'm probably not going to take money that I have to pay back based on a percentage of my income.
True, some students could end up paying a lot more than with a traditional loan, but others could end up paying a lot less if, for example, they plan on becoming a doctor but end up pursuing another dream, like becoming a teacher instead.
There's a risk-reward dynamic on both sides.
My Rich Uncle has already helped dozens of students, and the numbers are growing.
Last year we invested just under $1 million. This year we plan to invest somewhere around $3 to $5 million.
I think I make a pretty good investment.
Brian Flynn is hoping My Rich Uncle comes to his rescue.
I'm immediately going to apply and see what I can get for the remainder of school. Hopefully that'll get me through and alleviate some of the stress.
My Rich Uncle says it puts a cap on aid amounts to make sure that no one ever pays back more than 15% of their projected annual income. If you lose your job, you still have to pay, although My Rich Uncle says it will consider adjusting your payments. Tomorrow night on Eyewitness News at 10, a dangerous thrill. The need for speed on roller coasters. Doctors say it can be more than the body can handle. We'll look into it tomorrow night on Eyewitness News at 10.
See you later, alligator. Tonight, that's what some Oregon residents are saying to a family's pet. You may remember the ruckus this reptile has been causing in Beaverton, Oregon. Al is the Adams family's 5-foot American alligator, loved just like the other 4-legged members of the household. But neighbors complained after the gator accidentally got out of the Adams house and ended up in a neighbor's yard. Now city council members have voted to add alligators to their list of restricted pets, and Al must now find a new home.
Did you see how they treated us?
Florida, maybe?
I know, maybe he's coming here.
An employee plea to keep AT&T broadband here in Jacksonville. We'll have a live report coming up.
Also new at 10, a $20,000 apology to a traveler who claims she was squashed by a fellow airline passenger.
First, here's what's coming up on the morning show.
Thanks, Tom. Tomorrow, separating flu shot facts from fiction to keep your family and you healthy.
And you're going to love this. The hottest, freshest addition to the fair is Donut Heaven. We're going to show you tomorrow at 7 on the morning show. Tom and Mary.
And a moonlit night through the fog. How much sun will we see tomorrow? Brad's in next with a look ahead.
They mix finance with family. Moms who work from home, how they do it.
Tomorrow at 4 on the one and only Channel 4, WJXT.
New Toyotas, 5,000 off. Rebates to 1,500. Demos and repos. Used cars from $299. 0% financing. It's Ernie Palmer Toyota's new and used car tent sale. A sale so big, Ernie Palmer has taken over the block across from our showroom to pull it off. And Ernie Palmer is giving a huge $5,000 minimum trade allowance for your old car, regardless of condition, on our premium pre-owned vehicles. During this event, everyone will be approved, regardless of credit history. Don't miss out. Look for the big tents across from Ernie Palmer Toyota, Cassett Avenue.
You know, I really consider it the ultimate compliment when a new client hires us to represent them. Maybe it's because our relationships with the people we represent are something we take very seriously. Maybe it's because even though our lawyers have their law degrees hanging on the wall, we're just as proud of seeing a client through the medical and financial uncertainty an accident can cause. Maybe it's because we've been at it for 20 plus years and they know we'll still be here tomorrow. Maybe it's all the above.
Well, I'm on my 4th step in the 6 steps to successful wireless emails.
Any questions?
And it hasn't been easy.
How do we wait for email? Very good. What are some of the other ways we wait for email? And yes, Mark's doing that little blowing thing with his mouth.
Here, it's PCS Vision from Sprint. Fast, easy-to-use emails like your computer on the largest all-PCS enhanced nationwide network.
This is great.
Somebody just graduated.
Introducing PCS Vision from Sprint. Clearly, a whole new way to look at wireless.
Burger King is proud to announce the arrival of our new sourdough burger value meal. It starts with delicious toasted sourdough bread. Then we add one of those great tasting flame broiled burgers. Next, we top it off with ketchup, mayonnaise, lettuce, and tomato. Now make it a meal by adding a medium-sized order of tasty Burger King fries and your favorite soft drink. It's all yours for only $2.99. You'll love it. It's delicious. And it's a meal that won't break the bank. It's the new Burger King sourdough burger value meal. Now for just $2.99. You better hurry. It's only for a limited time. At BK, you got it.
This Eyewitness News weather report is sponsored by your local Jeep dealers.
Freedom should be accessible to everyone.
That's why we're giving you 0% financing for 60 months on 2003 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Or choose a $2,500 cash allowance and make no payments for 90 days. All with our 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. But hurry, because while freedom will go on, 0% financing won't. Check one out today.
The moon has been peeking out the last few nights and through the fog tonight.
And nearly a full moon. It was actually full a couple of nights ago. Yes, nonetheless, still a big moon, little fog, scattered clouds. But when we look back 24 hours ago, the stormy weather we had been dealing with, nothing like that today, just a couple of isolated storms. All in all, pretty nice day. Here's a look back at the numbers. We started at 64 this morning. We warmed up 20 degrees to 84 this afternoon under partly cloudy skies. Just a couple of isolated showers and storms at the beaches. You started at 66 and made it to 83 this afternoon. Here's a look about 3 hours ago as the one thunderstorm, western Duval County near the Cecil Commerce Center, was finally beginning to weaken. A few scattered storms to the south near Gainesville and just to the east, and that continued to move to the south. The rains have come to an end, and dry weather will take us right on through the rest of the night and tomorrow morning. We'll see partly cloudy skies, a little patchy fog, as our dew point 67 degrees. When the temperature reaches the dew point, the humidity is at 100%, and that's when the fog develops. So right now, humidity at 93% as temperatures are in the upper 60s at the airport, low 70s from Orange Park out towards the beaches, and 76 degrees right now in Palm Coast. So it's already a muggy and warm evening. The fog will be dense in a few low spots early tomorrow morning. Satellite and radar across the southeast shows the clouds and a few thunderstorms along an old frontal boundary, and then back to the west over the northern Gulf Coast, moving through Louisiana and into coastal sections of Mississippi overnight tonight. A cluster of thunderstorms that likely will not make it all the way here. What we're watching is a northeasterly wind developing on the north side of this stalled front, and then a southerly wind coming up against the warm front tomorrow. And what we're going to see through the afternoon is convergence right here across North Florida, and that's going to spark off some showers and maybe a few isolated thunderstorms. But generally speaking, looking at mostly cloudy skies through tomorrow afternoon with scattered showers. And again, the heaviest rain should remain back to our west. Nonetheless, temperatures kept down with a cloud cover, 78 degrees both inland and along the coast, with a rain chance about 40%. And there's a sunrise just after 7:30 in the morning and a high tide just after 10:30 in the morning. Winds along the coast, northeast about 15 miles an hour. Seas 3 to 5 feet. The surf building slowly to 2 to 3 feet and choppy. And looking ahead for the next several days, high temperatures in the 70s with the exception of Friday. We could get into the low 80s, but rain chances up a bit for the next few days, down in time for the weekend. Just a few hit or miss showers Saturday and Sunday. Generally speaking, partly cloudy and high temperatures in the 70s. So we do have a good weekend to look forward to, just kind of unsettled between now and then.
Wade through that and we'll enjoy the weekend.
The payoff comes Saturday and Sunday.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay.
Some of them say the way they were eating was, well, criminal. Just ahead on Eyewitness News, female cops test a fat-fighting pill combined with lifestyle changes. We'll see how they did.
And up next, the other side of cable complaints. Local cable employees speak out.
And I'm Terry James. This just in, Angelina Jolie is weird. I'll tell you all about it in a few minutes.
The latest on the manhunt for the serial sniper. Inside Edition is there. Next Inside Edition.
Tomorrow at 7:30 on the one and only Channel 4, WJXT.
Introducing 3 grilled favorites on one sizzling skillet. Fajita chicken, shrimp, and barbecued ribs. Chili's new Fajita Trio.
Even with osteoarthritis, these arms still have a way with the ladies. These legs hardly miss a beat. And these hands. These hands haven't lost their touch. Celebrate. They're Celebrex. Just one Celebrex lasts 24 hours and provides strong arthritis pain relief. People with aspirin-sensitive asthma or allergic reactions due to aspirin or other arthritis medicines or certain drugs called sulfonamide should not take Celebrex. In rare cases, serious stomach problems such as bleeding can occur without warning. Tell your doctor if you have kidney or liver problems. Ask your doctor to find out if prescription Celebrex is right for you and call 1-888-CELEBREX. Celebrex for strong 24-hour relief of arthritis pain.
What comes around?
Don't mess with Dodge Ram, Durango, and Dakota. Part of the most powerful, longest-lasting line of trucks. Grab Dodge's new 7-year, 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Ford, Chevy, and Toyota don't match it.
There are a lot of good lawyers in Jacksonville, but not many that concentrate in personal injury law like we do. We're the largest personal injury law firm in North Florida. Because of our size, we can compete with insurance companies and large defense firms. We have the resources to stay to the end. We work in teams so that every case has the benefit of our combined knowledge and manpower. We're in this profession because we want to help our clients and because we're competitors. We're trial lawyers, and we want to win. Brown Terrell Hogan, 722-2ACT.
Chili's baby back ribs. To go.
I think it's going to be about a yard short. Bring it up 4th and 1.
Get in, get out, get on with your life.
Tonight, a push to keep AT&T broadband in Jacksonville.
The city is threatening to pull the plug on the cable company, but tonight some of its employees are saying, don't pull the plug on us. Channel 4's Adam Landau is joining us live from City Hall, where the workers made a public plea to city leaders. Adam?
Well, Tom, at one point tonight, one of the city council members asked the AT&T broadband employees if they were made to come here by their employers. They said that they weren't, that they wanted to come here, and a couple of them got up and talked in front of the council about their jobs and about their company.
Our board members who have
For the first time in public, AT&T broadband employees show up to support their company and themselves.
There are some employees that have been with this company since it was Area Cablevision at its inception. There were good employees then that cared about the customer, and there are good employees now that care about the customer.
But city council members say the AT&T broadband customers they hear from are mostly fed up with a lack of service. So the council is now talking about pulling the plug on the franchise agreement with AT&T broadband. And a series of public hearings like this will lead up to that November 1st vote.
What is being proposed is essentially the death penalty, just like in some murder criminal cases. And next Friday, this council will be the jury, which is going to render the decision, or the verdict, as you might.
This isn't the death penalty, it's a business dispute. And there'll be a hearing on November 1st. This council has a long record of being open and fair-minded. There's no reason to think that you'll be anything but.
Employees of AT&T broadband say they're trying to make things better for customers, and they say they hope the city doesn't pull the plug on them.
As an employee, I know we have made improvements, and we will continue to do so under the leadership of Comcast. We like doing what we do, and we like doing it here in Jacksonville or in Northeast Florida. I ask you not take the action as proposed. We do care.
City Council President Jerry Holland tells us, though the city has been negotiating for months on a way to improve the company's customer service, so far, nothing has changed.
No, we still have not had an agreement. We still haven't had a meeting of the minds, so we have to move forward until that happens. Still optimistic it could happen. Still would like to see it happen.
Now, also tonight, this letter from Comcast, the company that will merge with AT&T Broadband, it asks the city to postpone these hearings until the merger happens. But tonight, Council President Jerry Holland told us that's not going to happen. Tonight, we're live from City Hall. I'm Adam Landau.
We're following breaking news downtown. 2 people shot at the intersection of Albert Street and A. Philip Randolph. The shooting victims have been rushed to Shands, Jacksonville. We're told one of them has been shot in the neck, the other in the leg. No word yet on their condition. Again, 2 people shot downtown tonight. Homicide investigators are on the scene. We have a crew there too, and we'll bring you more information as soon as we learn it. In tonight's developing stories, the police chief of Montgomery County, Maryland, has issued a new appeal to the person believed to be the Washington area sniper. Chief Charles Moose said tonight, quote, "It is important that we do this without anyone else getting hurt." This comes just hours after Chief Moose revealed the contents of a note that said, "Your children are not safe anywhere at any time." The note was found outside of a steakhouse in Virginia where the sniper critically wounded a man Saturday. Police are examining evidence from the crime scene in Silver Spring, Maryland, where the sniper apparently struck for the 13th time. A 35-year-old bus driver was shot as he was about to set out on his morning route. He died at the hospital. Count on Channel 4 to keep you updated on any new developments in the investigation of the sniper attacks.
A New Smyrna Beach man is recovering tonight from an alligator attack. This tops our focus on Florida. David Coleman says he was wade fishing with friends in a swampy area at the Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge in Titusville. He says he accidentally stepped on an alligator and then the gator bit him on the foot, leaving large gashes around his toes. The gator, described as being between 8 and 11 feet long, swam away. Coleman has had surgery on his foot.
Tonight, a woman injured while squeezed next to an overweight passenger on a transatlantic flight has been paid $20,000 by the airline.
Barbara Hewson was traveling on a Virgin Atlantic flight from London to Los Angeles when she says she was forced to sit by the overweight passenger. After the flight, she had to be treated for a blood clot, a back injury, and torn leg muscles.
She was sitting on my right leg, yes. Her words to me were, about halfway through the flight, she just said, "Are you okay?" And I said to her, "Well, you know I'm not. I've been taking painkillers ever since I got on the plane." And I said, "Are you okay?" She said, "Sure, but then I'm sitting on your lap."
Virgin Atlantic apologized to Hewson and gave her $20,000 compensation.
The U.S. military is preparing to transfer a small number of prisoners out of its high-security jail at Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. The release would be the first such move of enemy combatants in the global war on terrorism. Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld says those prisoners have all been thoroughly interrogated, and U.S. officials have found no grounds to prosecute them. He says U.S. military authorities are awaiting a decision from the prisoners' home countries as to whether they wish to take custody. If they don't, the prisoners will be set free.
Covering your world, new fears of a growing civil war in Colombia after a car bomb rocks Bogota. Rob is live in the newsroom. Rob?
Well, Tom, some Colombians see this latest bombing as an attempt to bring the country's civil war to a major city. At least 2 people were killed and 36 others were wounded when a car bomb exploded outside police headquarters in downtown Bogota. 26 of those injured were police officers. The mayor blames rebels of the Revolutionary Armed Forces for the bombing. Just last week, rebel militias fought the army and police in Medellin, leaving 12 people dead. A reward has been offered for information about the latest bombing. An unprecedented scene outside the government buildings in Baghdad. Dozens of protesters gathered to demand to know where their relatives are. Last week, Saddam Hussein released all the prisoners from jail to say thanks to the Iraqis for their show of support during the election. But these demonstrators say they haven't been able to find their relatives. They left without any answers after guards fired a gun into the air and dispersed the crowd. The first trial of an accused conspirator of the September 11th attacks is underway in Germany. The trial of Munir el-Motassadegh is taking place in Hamburg in a courtroom there under tight security. He is accused of belonging to an Islamic militant cell that aided the terrorists. The trial is expected to take several months. If convicted, he could face life in prison.
Topping Health Beat tonight, a crackdown by the FDA on decorative contact lenses, those sold without a prescription that are used with costumes. Officials say the lenses can cause injuries that lead to blindness. They're warning against wearing them unless prescribed and fitted by an eye care professional. The FDA cites dozens of reports of corneal ulcers, abrasions that can rapidly lead to vision-threatening infections. The FDA says it will seize unauthorized lenses sold in stores. A little exercise is good, but more is a whole lot better for preventing heart attacks. A new study from Harvard compared men who did high-intensity aerobic exercise with those who did low-intensity exercise. The high-intensity group was 17% less likely to develop heart disease. That same group was also 42% better off than those who did no running. The study also says those who weight trained 30 minutes or more a week had a 23% lower risk than those who did no lifting. Researchers suggest both weight training and high-intensity exercise are best. Dieting is most effective if you include that exercise. Well, some overweight New York City police officers can vouch for that. The female cops took part in a clinical weight loss study using Estroline, a new phytoestrogen-based hormone-balancing fat-burning diet pill. Researchers say the study focused on female police officers because they face intense professional and personal pressures. Often they don't have time to eat right or exercise.
Let me tell you about my diet before Estroline. It was criminal. With the erratic hours, life as a police officer, and the stress. I mean, I was totally out of control. I was up to 150 pounds, size 12, size 14. Today, I'm 120, and I'm a size 8.
I've had no side effects. I'm eating healthier. I work out more. I've lost 25 pounds, and I'm still losing.
Study participants took estroline in conjunction with a sensible diet and moderate exercise program. A study published in the upcoming issue of Health and Fitness magazine showed that the officers lost 15 pounds on average. Many said they had fewer food cravings, felt re-energized, more balanced, and experienced hormonal harmony.
Tonight, building a virtual you. Coming up, turning to the computer to make sure your clothes are a perfect fit without actually trying them on.
Also ahead, an early Halloween treat for some playful critters.
And the Jaguars are looking for a new kicker. They haven't found one yet, but they don't have their old one. And Florida State has some new goals. We'll talk about that coming up in sports.
You're watching the one and only Eyewitness News at 10.
HealthBeat is sponsored by your local Toyota dealers.
Now get 0.0% APR financing on the 2003 Toyota Camry.
On the next Entertainment Tonight, 500 babies. We're at the auditions in New York as Ivory searches for its new baby face. Then all new alien abductions. We have the TV event Taken. Plus, things are heating up on The Bachelor.
My sex life is very boring.
And why is Dennis Quaid on the cover of a gay magazine? New revelations about his breakup with Meg. Plus, whatever happened to Donna Summer? We're with the disco queen and her daughter, XTT.
Tomorrow at 7 on the one and only Channel 4.
Big spending Bill McBride. Every day he promises more spending. The total so far? $29 billion. How can McBride pay for all this spending? McBride says he'll raise your taxes. Will it be higher sales taxes? Higher property taxes? A new state income tax? Tell the truth, Bill. How can you pay for it? One thing's for sure, $29 billion in new McBride spending means billions in new McBride taxes.
Donut. Yeah.
Espresso.
The 2002 Lincoln LS. Lease one now for just $349 a month with no security deposit and only $28.49 due at signing. There are those who travel and those who travel well.
This Eyewitness News Sports Report is sponsored by Wendy's Late Night Pickup Window.
Rest assured, Wendy's Late Night Pickup Window is open till 1 a.m., so you can get anything on the menu made fresh and eat great even late. Sweet dreams.
Live from WJXT, Tom Wills, Mary Bear, Rob Sweeting, meteorologist Brad Nitz, and Sam Kavaris with sports. This is the one and only Eyewitness News. And now, sports with Sam Kavaris.
Saturday at noon in Tallahassee, I'm over here, there we go. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish will be the team that is in town. And it's got to be something that the Seminoles really have to adjust to because, I mean, week in and week out, they play teams in the ACC, they play Florida, but this is Notre Dame. And according to the players, it's a whole different situation. Gold helmets coming in, the storybook kind of franchise, if you will. The players have to realize that they're just another football team.
Having Notre Dame come into your house, that's always going to be special, I think, for any program. I think they realize that. And just to see those gold helmets and the tradition they bring in here, it's something you've seen growing up in movies or on TV or, watching them on Saturdays. So I think it's definitely an honor for us and a great opportunity for us to beat a great football team.
Florida State's a favorite in this game. In fact, nearly a 2-touchdown favorite at home against a team that's ranked about 13 places in front of them in the poll, depending on which poll you're looking at. So why is that? Well, Tyrone Willingham, the Irish head coach, says it's because the Seminoles have one of the most balanced offenses he's ever seen.
This offense of theirs is, I think, as balanced as we've seen all year. If I'm correct, I think they're going about 200-plus yards rushing the football and another 200 yards passing the football. I mean, that's a pretty balanced offense when you look at that. And you know that defensively, they've always had great players.
Georgia has kind of a tall task this week. They have to go on the road to Lexington and play against a Kentucky team that's fired up and, as when they visited Gainesville, thinks they can beat Georgia. Georgia has to do it without Stinchcomb, probably their best offensive lineman, without Musa Smith, and without Freddie Gibson. All three will miss this game, probably will play in the Florida game, but not this game against the Wildcats on the road.
Lost a lot of production, a lot of firepower, and it got us on both ends. You know, you got Stinchcomb, who's a great run blocker and pass blocker, and then you got your running back, number one running back out, and then Gibson, who's done so well in the passing game. So we got hurt on all ends there.
Florida is coming off a last-second overtime win, obviously, so the passion about whether to keep Ron Zook, fire Ron Zook continues to be fueled. We went on the internet tonight to check out fireronzook.com, which actually has been up since the day after Zook was hired, because the guy who runs the website, who won't give us his whole name, by the way, is a Florida graduate and just thought that Zook was the wrong guy. They offer all kinds of things on there. T-shirts, underwear, coffee cups that have all kinds of slogans about Ron Zook. You see, enough is enough, so on and so forth. Up to date, about 240,000 hits. Now, also 240,000 hits. There is another website out there, keepronzook.com, which has had about 39,000 or so hits so far. Keepronzook.com, by the way, also has a variety of items that you can purchase, sweatshirts, hats, no underwear so far seen on keepronzook.com. Hayden Epstein has been waived. Epstein, of course, 5 of 9 field goals, hit all of his extra points, but stopped kicking the ball in the end zone. Coughlin lost confidence in him. The guy was about a 50% field goal kicker in college, and as a 7th-round draft pick, Coughlin clearly hoped that his strong leg would translate into points and touchbacks in the pros. Well, it really didn't work out, so Coughlin has decided to move on. Who he's going to hire is still up in the air. They did work out a couple of kickers today, but Coughlin says that he's looking for points anytime they get inside the 40-yard line. Meanwhile, points is one of the key things that Jimmy Smith is supposed to produce, particularly when they gave him this big new contract at the end of, or at the beginning of this year, at the end of training camp. Smith has not been real happy with how he's been used, although he has not been very vocal about it. He understands. The coverage on Jimmy Smith at this point has been too deep, guys over top, linebackers on the inside. In fact, whole defenses pretty much are designed to keep Jimmy Smith from getting the ball.
And we've got to find ways, and we're finding ways to get him the ball, but yeah, they're not dumb over there. I mean, they know who to cover up. They know who to double coverage and all the things that we see, the zone coverage where they're taking away just about everything out there. But that just puts the responsibility on everybody else.
So it's hard to put your finger on it. It's frustrating. It's frustrating for me. It's frustrating for Mark. I'm sure it's frustrating for Coach Coughlin. Whatever we do, we got to fix it. You know, we got to get the ball downfield.
Jaguars worked out. Cunningham and Cedar today have not signed a new kicker as of yet.
Thanks, Sam.
Already.
Nice night out there tonight.
Beautiful weather and very stormy weather 24 hours ago, so nice to have a little bit of break as far as that goes. Temperatures still a little warm and it's kind of muggy, and that's going to mean a little fog as we head through the night tonight and towards tomorrow morning. Temperatures right now, upper 60s from the airport to Fernandina Beach and Brunswick. And then the rest of us in the low 70s now and headed down into the low to mid 60s as we head through the rest of the night. But it is muggy. Look at the relative humidity already up to 93%. So a little fog already setting up in a few low-lying spots, and that could become dense by tomorrow morning. Bigger perspective, and at first glance, the thing that really jumps out at you is all this rain and snow up to the north. We've seen snow for the past 24 hours over portions of the upper peninsula of Michigan and even northern sections of the lower peninsula, and then the snow stretches all the way back through Wisconsin and sections of Iowa, Nebraska, and Kansas. Some very cold weather there. Showers and thunderstorms across portions of the southeast associated with this frontal system that's going to begin to lift to the north. This cold air will head more easterly as opposed to southeasterly, so we're not looking for a big temperature change. What we are looking for is northeasterly winds, convergence along and near that front, and that's going to mean more in the way of cloud cover tomorrow, and also pretty good chance of at least some scattered showers. If you have travel plans, scattered showers in 84 in Miami, the snow around Chicago coming to an end, 44 and partly cloudy tomorrow, and out west a lot of sunshine, 74 degrees in LA. Our forecast calls for temperatures to make it to about 78 both inland and along the beach. Rain chance about 40% with mostly cloudy skies. And out along the coast, we'll see a high tide just after 10:30 in the morning. Northeast winds at 15 miles an hour. Seas build to 3 to 5 feet. The surf builds to 2 to 3. And unsettled weather taking us right on through the end of the week. But by this weekend, temperatures back into the 70s and just a few scattered showers. And look at Monday and Tuesday, temperatures return to the 50s. So a little warm, but not hot, and muggy over the next few days. We do have some cool weather around the corner.
Around the corner as in frost on the pumpkin for Halloween?
Not quite frost, but not hot at least.
Somehow I had a feeling it wasn't going to be frost.
Yeah, we got a few months for that.
I had to ask anyway.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Brad.
There are a few women that Terry will talk about it. You have a real problem with.
Well, I don't really have.
I'm picking up on this negative vibe about these women.
I just find this woman very, very entertaining. And I'm talking about Angelina Jolie. She's proving to be a fun person for me to talk about, not to mention a protective parent. She's having a property around her house she's building in Cambodia cleared of landmines. Jolie says she's terrified that her adopted son from Cambodia, Maddox, will accidentally step on a mine, and I would hope so. The award-winning actress who recently filed for divorce from Billy Bob Thornton plans on living in Cambodia part-time. Celine Dion is about to unveil her upcoming Las Vegas show. A New Day will premiere at the new Coliseum at Caesars Palace, March the 25th. The arena was built for her and will be only used by her. It will run for 3 years. There will be more than 60 dancers and performers along with special effects. If you want to see the show in Vegas, you better save some cash. Fans can expect to pay up to $200 to see the Grammy Award-winning singer. Dion will release a new single as well in November.
Enough for us both, Gimli.
Now, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you got one of those on your Christmas list, you better listen up. There's a new game on the shelves that's sure to be a favorite stocking stuffer. Gamers can do damage as the warrior dwarf Gimli, lightning quick Legolas, or elf, their human leader Aragorn. Can you tell I have no idea what I'm talking about, Mary? I can't cover it up, okay? The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers is available on PlayStation 2 and Game Boy. It's rated teen. Meanwhile, the movie by the same name opens in theaters on December the 18th.
You didn't read that?
No, I didn't. I was making it up as I went along, Mayor. I'm not into that whole thing, but I know a lot of people that are.
Oh, I love the movie. I thought it was awesome. I know. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm guessing that you're not a huge Celine Dion fan either. That show just looks
I don't want to
not
come
quite
off like I
your
can't
style.
stand everybody, and I'm noticing it's doing that lately, and you're setting me up. I just want you to know that. There are some people I like.
I'm watching those dancers, though, in there, and I'm thinking, you know, this doesn't seem like something Terry would get a kick out of.
I have to keep my mouth shut every once in a while here, Mary.
Thank you.
All right.
Tom.
It's a new twist on shopping coming up. Trying on new clothes without leaving your living room. No, just let the computer do the fitting for you. And ghosts, goblins, and otters. A zoo getting into the Halloween spirit.
Coming up on Eyewitness News Express, we'll have more on that shooting downtown. Plus, we'll have the latest information on the Washington sniper. That's coming up on the Express in about 9 minutes.
I'm a four-truck man, that's all I drive. I ain't got no boundaries, I don't compromise. Ain't no doubt my king of the mountains built for tough.
There's no doubt about Truck Month, because the best-selling compact SUV on the planet comes with big savings. That's every 2002 Sport Track, Explorer Sport, and Explorer 4-door. Pick interest-free financing. That's right, 0% APR, or take up to $3,000 cash back.
Visit your Southern Ford dealer. My entire professional career has been focused on one thing: fighting for ordinary families against powerful interests.
As a lead attorney in Florida's victory over tobacco companies, Wayne Hogan helped stop tobacco advertising near schools and playgrounds.
Smoking among high school students has dropped 30%, 47% among middle school students. That wouldn't have happened without Wayne Hogan having the courage to take on the big tobacco companies.
If you send me to Congress, I won't represent anybody but you.
From us, for us. Wayne Hogan for Congress.
Coughing up cards. Easy. Magic wands. No brainer. Furry woodland creature. You want to know what's really magic? That's when Singular takes my unused minutes and makes them reappear the very next month. Oh, now you're impressed. Rollover, only from Singular.
Hey! That thing got a Hemi?
Yeah.
Sweet.
The all-new Dodge Ram Heavy Duty.
Did you mean the Charger? Because you know that's got a Hemi too.
Now with a 345 horsepower, 5.7-liter Hemi Magnum. Grab Dodge's 770 powertrain limited warranty. Ford, Chevy, and Toyota don't match it.
Frazier becomes a role model for his new boss.
What a lovely outfit. Hope you got the volume discount.
On Frazier.
Tomorrow at 9 on the one and only Channel 4.
In tonight's Consumer Alert, the new Hot Wheels in Hollywood, the new Toyota Prius, described as a hybrid car, is really catching on with the rich and famous in Southern California. You don't have to plug it in or charge it because it runs on gas and electric power. One car salesman to the Star says he sold one to Cameron Diaz, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Alec Baldwin may be interested too. But in LA, what are you if you drive a car that is this tiny?
You're a genius. You're a genius with foresight. You're a far-seeing genius.
A tree hugger? I don't know.
Hybrids are not cheap. The Prius is smaller than the Toyota Corolla, which you can buy for about $14,000. The Prius sells for close to $21,000. Honda is also making hybrids, but you're not going to find any built in Detroit. The reason might be this year's estimated 45,000 hybrid sales amounts to 0.25% of the 17 million vehicle U.S. auto market.
When you shop for clothes from home, they look great in a catalog or on the web. But when you put them on, clothes can take on an entirely new shape. Now you can create a virtual model of yourself and actually try on clothes from your computer. Tonight, a kind of desktop dressing room. The pants are too big.
I'm swimming in these.
The color, oh, wrong.
Not good on blondes.
Your worst fashion nightmare. But it doesn't have to be that way. Amy Davis figured out how to get the perfect fit without any hassles.
It's really, really cool.
How did she do it? She created a virtual model, her cyber twin.
I probably tried on 25 Lane Bryant outfits in 2 minutes.
She went to the store's website and, with a few clicks of the mouse, built a mirror image of herself.
She really looked like me, and same hair, same face, build the same.
It's something millions of savvy shoppers are doing. How does it work?
So we're going to create our virtual model.
The Techno Runway is easy to use.
You start choosing hairstyles.
And then you plug in your vital stats.
I'm about 180 pounds.
And up pops a 3D you, ready to mix and match.
I could change the colors of the tops.
The virtual model industry is growing. More and more sites are adding it in the last couple of years.
Shopping sites like Lane Bryant, Guess, Kenneth Cole, Land's End.
It's our most popular feature that we have on the site.
And shoppers are using these cyber clones when they buy clothes online, from catalogs, and even before they hit the mall.
The customers love it, and our stores love it.
Why? No endless hours in the dressing room and fewer returns. A big bonus considering a recent survey shows 44% of shoppers wouldn't buy clothes online because of return concerns, and 81% wouldn't because they can't try the clothes on. But now,
with our technology, you're able to create a much more confident and decisive shopper.
As for those 25 outfits Amy Davis tried on her virtual model, she took a list of her favorites to the store.
So I really looked like the screen did whenever I tried on the clothes. It was great. I loved it.
How are you? The graphic models aren't only used for fashion. Companies like Nutrisystem use them to keep weight loss clients motivated, showing them what they would look like after dropping a few pounds.
Catering to some critters craving Halloween treats.
Up next, we're going to show you how one Texas zoo is getting into the spooky spirit.
If you've been injured in an accident, call on the strength of Northeast Florida's largest personal injury firm. We're on the back of your phone book, Harrell & Johnson. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Bill McBride is fighting to improve education and reduce class sizes, but Jeb Bush is attacking him, saying it costs too much. But McBride pays for his plan with a 50 cents per pack cigarette tax. That's the only tax he'll raise. So why is Bush resorting to scare tactics and fake numbers? McBride's plan has been praised by newspapers and endorsed by teachers and parents. They know our schools are underfunded and overcrowded. They care about education, and they want a governor who cares about it too.
What's that for?
Gas money.
Ah, don't worry about it.
No, take it. Well, if you insist. Absolutely. Yes. The Civic from Honda. It figures.
Okay, pick a number between 1 and 10.
1.9.
That's a number and then part of a number.
Get special APR financing as low as 1.9% for 24 months on 2002 Civics.
Hi, I'm Bob from FPL.
Hey, what do you live for?
My kids.
Is he a fisherman in the making?
What does he live for?
Ice cream.
A good shot.
The ocean.
That one was mediocre.
My family.
My mom.
Your mom? Hey, what do you live for?
My fiance over here.
You better say that, especially on TV.
No matter what your reasons are for staying safe, you should always stay away from power lines. Be sure to look up when using ladders, antennas, or pruning saws. Safety is everyone's responsibility.
I live for my family now, for her and for the baby. That's exactly what we live for.
You're gonna love the way it makes you feel. Find the room you want, the joy is real. The search is simple, let your pleasure show. Decorating's easy at Rooms to Go. With every new look, every low price, comfort and style, the expert advice. Delivering faster, it all goes to show. Decorating's easy at Rooms to Go. Decorating's easy, Rooms to Go easy. Decorating's easy at Rooms to Go.
Halloween is still about a week away, but some little ones in Fort Worth, Texas got their treats early. Otters at the local zoo were given jack-o'-lanterns to play with. The otters didn't waste any time, quickly decorating their pond with the carved-up pumpkins. Zookeepers even gave the otters some Halloween goodies, although, as far as we know, that did not include Snickers or M&Ms. There for the zookeepers. And that's Eyewitness News at 10. I'm Tom Wills. Please stay tuned. Rob and Mary are starting Eyewitness News Express.
Live from WJXT, this is Eyewitness News Express.
The Washington area sniper issues a new threat after another person is gunned down in Maryland. Good evening, everyone. That story in a moment, but first we have breaking news to tell you about.
As we first told you at 10, police say 2 people have been shot at the intersection of A. Philip Randolph Boulevard and Albert Street. They've both been taken to Shands Hospital. Homicide investigators are on the scene, and so is our Adam Landau. Adam, what can you tell us now?
Well, Mary, we're now being told that 3 people were actually shot behind me here at the corner of A. Philip Randolph and Albert Street. We want to show you, though, how close this was to the fair that's going on. You can see this is just about 3 blocks from the fair. Police say as of right now they don't think this has anything to do with the fair, but it was an off-duty officer who was working here at the fair that heard the gunshots. He then came out here and saw 3 people that had been shot, 1 in critical condition, 1 in serious condition, and 1 had suffered minor injuries. We're told 1 was shot in the neck, 1 in the leg, and 1 in the hand, and police are saying this appears to be a drive-by shooting.
Our witnesses are telling us that it was a vehicle that drove up. The group of wounded people were standing underneath the tree, just having a conversation when the suspect vehicle drove up. At least 1 person jumped out of the car and began shooting at them.
Now, again, this happened just 3 blocks away from the fair, right here behind me at A. Philip Randolph. 3 people hurt, 1 critically, 1 seriously, and 1 suffered minor injuries. Police say right now they don't have a description of the suspects, and right now they don't know who they're looking for. That's the latest live here. I'm Adam Landau.
And we'll bring you more information on the shooting tomorrow on the morning show beginning at 5 in the morning. Now back to our big story. The suburbs of Washington, D.C. are still living in fear of the sniper tonight.
Police are using the media to try and talk to the sniper and to try to keep him from killing again. Earlier this morning, a bus driver was fatally shot in Silver Spring, Maryland. And police say it looks like the work of the sniper. If so, it would be the 13th attack. We know a little of what the sniper is telling police. Montgomery County Police Chief Charles Moose read a portion of a note police say is from the sniper. In it, he reportedly demands $10 million and issues a threat.
It is in the form of a postscript. Your children are not safe anywhere at any time.
And later, Moose asked the sniper to contact him again.
You indicated that this is about more than violence. We are waiting to hear from you.
Investigators spent the day scouring the area near where a bus driver was shot and killed. Police say it looks like the work of the sniper. If it is, the sniper has returned to the site of the first murders in Montgomery County, Maryland. Despite stopping traffic and searching cars, police came up with nothing. Officials say schools will open tomorrow as usual in Maryland and Virginia, despite the sniper's newest threat.
And we'll continue to bring you more information on the investigation into the sniper in the Washington, D.C. area. Now, for the last time before next month's election, Governor Bush and Bill McBride debated their differences tonight. Channel 4's Corey Sabin watched their debate and joins us live from the Satellite Center with some of what the candidates had to say. Corey?
Well, both candidates had a lot to say, but only 1 hour to get all their thoughts and their views in. Election day is in 2 weeks, and according to a recent Mason-Dixon poll, Governor Jeb Bush leads Democratic candidate Bill McBride 49% to 44%. 6% of the sample people polled are still undecided. Tonight, the two candidates squared off in Orlando in the third and final gubernatorial debate.
I think Florida needs less finger-pointing and more serious attention to trying to take us to better place.
By keeping taxes low and by promoting the state with passion and conviction, I believe we can diversify our economy and create more jobs.
The men also touched on education, taxes, and crime.
The governor keeps sort of implying that everything has worked so well for the last 4 years in crime. That's not the case in Florida.
His spokesman says that crime's not a pressing issue in our state. That's why all of the major law enforcement agencies and organizations support my candidacy.
There was a moment when each man was asked what they liked about each other. McBride said he liked the governor's mother. Governor Jeb Bush said he liked that McBride served in the military. We're live in the Satellite Center. I'm Corey Sabin.
In the Carl Walden trial today, the last of two former officers took the stand against the accused murderer and former cop. Former officer Jason Pugh said his former friend and partner Carl Walden asked for his help in robbing businessman Sammy Safar. But although he and Walden robbed drug dealers together in the past, Pugh says he refused to help this time. Prosecutors say Walden went ahead and robbed Safar, then killed him. Walden has maintained his innocence in the trial.
Tonight, a public hearing on the future of AT&T broadband in Jacksonville, and many AT&T employees showed up to support their company. The city council heard from the public tonight. They'll vote on November 1st whether to pull the plug on the city's franchise agreement with AT&T broadband. Tonight, some employees of the company came to tell the city council they're working hard to make things better for customers.
As an employee, I know we have made improvements, and we will continue to do so under the leadership of Comcast. We like doing what we do, and we like doing it here in Jacksonville or in Northeast Florida. I ask you not take the action as proposed. We do care. Council, my name is Bill.
Council President Jerry Holland says the city has been trying to come to an agreement with AT&T broadband about customer service, but so far they haven't reached middle ground.
The city says it will make their workers healthier and more productive, but some people say it's just a waste of money. Still, the city plans to use tax money to turn this room into a fitness center, one that's close to the public, or closed rather to the public, but open to some city workers. The issue is going before the city council. The city will probably have to use reserve funds to convert the space. Duval County schools are getting a little extra money thanks to Uncle Sam. The U.S. Department of Education announced it will give more than $1 million in grant money to Duval County public schools. The money will help operate and expand the Jacksonville Career Academies program. The Peterson and Randolph Schools of Technology will share most of the money. Duval County schools are one of only 92 school districts nationwide to receive an award like this.
6 men charged with being part of an al-Qaeda terror cell in suburban Buffalo, New York, pleaded innocent today. Prosecutors say the Yemenis men trained at an al-Qaeda terror camp in Afghanistan, and they were waiting for orders to commit terrorist acts in the U.S. But prosecutors do say the men didn't pose an immediate threat. If convicted on the charges of conspiring with terrorists, the men could spend 15 years in prison. After nearly a year, the U.S. government is ready to release some prisoners taken during the Afghan war. It's the first release of Taliban and al-Qaeda soldiers from the Guantanamo Bay Naval Base in Cuba. Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld says only those men no longer considered potential terrorists will be let go. The first flights out are expected later this week.
Brad Nitz has the seal of approval of the American Meteorological Society.
With the exception of a few stormy hours yesterday, late afternoon and evening, beautiful weather here recently. We've got some unsettled weather to deal with for the next couple of days, but it's only temporary. Right now, the radar loop over the last few hours shows the thunderstorms to our south have come to an end. Things have dried out around the first coast and up into southeastern Georgia as well. And it looks like partly cloudy skies will take us through the rest of the night and in towards tomorrow morning where we'll see a little bit of fog. Could be dense in a few locations. Relative humidity already up above 90%. And as it gets closer and closer to 100%, more fog will develop. Could be dense, as I said, tomorrow morning. 69 degrees right now at the airport. The rest of us generally in the low to mid 70s and will be slow to drop through the night. Here's a look at the satellite and radar. Things have cleared up locally. Showers and storms, though, moving out of Texas across Louisiana and in towards Mississippi, mainly associated with some energy in the upper levels of the atmosphere. We do have a warm front there that will be lifting to the north. So overnight tonight and tomorrow morning, the front stalled generally to our south, begins to move to the north. Northeasterly winds north of the front for all of us, picking up the seas and surf a little bit. Some low-level moisture coming in off the ocean, which will mean clouds and rain as we see some convergence near that frontal system. So scattered showers, a few isolated storms around the Florida Peninsula, and a better chance of rain over Florida as opposed to southeastern Georgia tomorrow. Overnight low temperatures, low 60s inland, middle 60s along the beaches. And again, remember, some fog to start the day, burning off by mid-morning, but mostly cloudy skies through the day tomorrow, and a pretty decent chance of showers, about 40%. And with the clouds and the scattered showers, temperatures kept down into the upper 70s. UV rating only a 3. We won't see a whole lot of sunshine tomorrow. High tide at 10:34 in the morning. Northeast winds along the coast at 15 miles an hour. Seas 3 to 5 feet. The surf 2 to 3 feet with a moderate chop on the inland waters. And looking ahead through the rest of the work week, unsettled weather, good chance of scattered showers, cloud cover, and temperatures near 80, drying out some for the weekend, and then dry and cool to start next week.
And now, your Sports Express.
On one hand, he is a 7th-round draft pick. On another hand, he is a kicker. So what are the Jaguars going to do? Well, today they waived Hayden Epstein and have sent him on his way. Epstein, who was 5 of 9 and all in field goals and made all of his extra points, ended up being cut by the Jaguars today and not replaced as of yet. One of the things that the Jaguars are looking for, obviously, is more points. They've only scored 10 points this past week. Not enough against Tennessee either. Something Tom Coughlin says that comes into focus when you start looking at game tape.
We got some steady plays, but we didn't get a lot of big plays. But 10 points is not enough. And you know, there was so many things that were close that it would make you. It still does today. It makes me sick to my stomach. But nevertheless, we didn't score. We didn't put the points on the board.
Jaguars did work out a couple of kickers today. Richie Cunningham and Tim Cedar, both former Cowboys. Neither have been signed. Coughlin obviously needs to sign somebody before this coming week's game. He usually does that to give them some practice time with the Jaguars, but Epstein has been released. As I said, Epstein, a 7th-round pick who kicked in front of big crowds at Michigan and in big games. Coughlin felt like that he had a lot of confidence in him coming in, that he would grow into the job. But clearly that didn't happen, and he stopped kicking the ball into the end zone as well on kickoffs, so he has moved on. And as I said, on the other hand, it's a kicker. There's a million of them. Go find one that can make field goals from 40 yards out. Chris Ricks says that the Notre Dame Fighting Irish are an opportunity to kind of make some memories if you're a Seminole. Notre Dame comes in with the reputation, with the tradition, with everything going for them, even if they are a nearly 2-touchdown underdog Saturday.
Having Notre Dame come into your house, that's always going to be special, I think, for any program. I think they realize that. And just to see those gold helmets and the tradition they bring in here, it's something you've seen growing up in movies or on TV or, you know, watching them on Saturdays. So I think it's definitely an honor for us and a great opportunity for us to beat a great football team.
After consulting with his family, Hal Sutton has decided to accept the captaincy of the United States Ryder Cup team for 2004. Sutton was a stalwart on the team 3 years ago up at Brookline, where he went undefeated and was also an emotional leader. Sutton considered to be a pretty tough guy out there on tour. If you remember, he stared down Tiger Woods a couple of years ago when he won the Players' Championship for the 2nd time. Also won the 1993 PGA, and that kind of gave him a leg up because, of course, the Ryder Cup is run by the PGA of America. Sutton will be formally announced later this week.
All right. Thanks, Sam.
Okay.
We'll be right back with even more breaking news tonight.
Jacksonville police are looking for a missing 11-year-old boy. We'll have more details on that in a moment.
Introducing the new S-Type. Sometimes an object of desire gets more intriguing, more provocative, and more irresistible the closer you get. The new 2003 S-Type, beyond beautiful. For exceptional values on the S-Type, visit your local Jaguar retailer today.
All these negative ads on TV won't do a single thing to help our children get a better education. But I will. I've worked hard to build Florida up, but my opponent only seems interested in tearing me down. Our schools have come a long way in 4 years. Student achievement is rising, funding is up 27%, and we're building 12,000 new classrooms. I know there's much more that we need to do, and I'm asking for your help to do it.
Jeb Bush, real leadership on education.
You can get 5,300 minutes of calling for $29.95 a month, plus free nationwide long distance. Add a line and share your minutes and get 2 phones for just 99 cents each. Alltel, are you connected?
It contains 200 known poisons, 43 carcinogens, and causes heart disease, asthma, and sudden infant death syndrome. Secondhand smoke is not just a nuisance, it's a killer. And Amendment 6 will protect us from it. Amendment 6 will put a stop to smoking in restaurants and indoor workplaces, protecting everyone's right to breathe smoke-free air. Amendment 6 will save lives, save money, and save our health. Vote yes on Amendment 6.
We have breaking news in. Police are looking for your help tonight in the disappearance of an 11-year-old boy.
He was last seen around 5:30 this afternoon in the 7100 block of Garden Street on the north side. That's near I-295 and US 1. Jacksonville Sheriff's Office helicopters and K-9 units have been deployed in the search. His name is Sean Thornton. He's 11 years old. He's a white male around 5 feet tall. He weighs about 82 pounds. And he was last seen wearing a tan and green camouflage outfit with either a blue or red shirt. You want an example of how nice it was outside? Nope, you don't. Okay.
Yeah, we'll tell them about that later. But we'll bring you more details on the case of this missing boy, 11-year-old boy in the North Side area. First thing in the morning, if you have any information on the missing boy in the North Side area of Jacksonville, 630-0500. Call the Sheriff's Office if you have any tips, any information that you can give them as they search for a missing 11-year-old boy. And we'll have more details coming up first thing in the morning on Eyewitness News.
That's going to do it for now. Thank you very much for joining us. Good night, everybody.